Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here tonight as we're counting down to the big 4th of July edition of Monday Night Raw. I apologize due to last week with me being on vacation. We did not get a Monday Night Raw preview. I did have a video that I put up during the week about Kurt Angle coming back to WWE. Honestly, when it comes down to it, the pay-per-view previews and the Monday Night previews are pretty much my most guaranteed video of the week. If there's a really big story that pops up somewhere along the way, normally I'll make a video on it, but I apologize about not being able to have one up yesterday, or I guess last week. I apologize. But as we get ready for 4th of July, I don't think very many people are going to be getting ready to watch this show. Maybe if you're on the East Coast and you actually have Raw on from 8 until 11:15, you can, watch the fireworks. You can come home and catch the tail end of Raw. Even on the West Coast, 5 o'clock is when most people will probably be starting their barbecues, if not already be enjoying them, waiting until the sun goes down around 8 o'clock to when fireworks actually go off. If you actually don't do fireworks at your house and go to watch them like at a city event or something like that, you're screwed, and you're not going to see this show anyways unless you watch it on your DVR or you watch it on Hulu. So WWE has put together a show. They've hyped up a few things. There's a strong rumor out there going around that basically there's going to be a GM stopping by Monday Night Raw, basically trying to say that they want the job to come back. We've already seen, Corporate Kane, John Laurinaitis, and Teddy Long show up. There's some people out there trying to start a rumor saying that Kurt Angle is going to pop in for Monday Night Raw, because of it being, 4th of July and him being the Olympic hero, Mr. USA and all. I don't see it happening. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to be on tap. I think that honestly, there's already been some people saying that it's going to be Vicky Guerrero. Excuse me! And, I don't know. The only thing I know is it can't be the anonymous Raw GM because Hornswoggle can't show up anymore. So that's basically all it comes down to. I was hoping for Eric Bischoff a few weeks ago because his DVD came out. He still could pop in at any time, but I don't know. Vicky Guerrero, it is what it is. You got to keep your fingers crossed. Maybe for next week when it's not a holiday week, maybe we can get not Brock Lesnar, but Paul Heyman to show up to hype up Brock Lesnar coming back for the SmackDown Raw draft. Which is weird that it's going to be held on SmackDown, but SmackDown's a show that they're trying to get over, so it is what it is. So maybe SmackDown actually gets to the point where we actually have to make SmackDown previews and actually have to have them put up, after Raw to make you get excited for it. Sometimes, I remember during the good old days when Monday Night Raw would come to a close, and you'd be like, oh, fuck, that was an awesome ending to Raw. Now I gotta wait all these days to the next edition of Raw or to the pay-per-view. And then SmackDown came along in the late 90s and the 2000s, and SmackDown used to actually be something, and you'd actually be like, oh man, I don't have to wait as long. I only have to wait until, what day was SmackDown on back in the day? It was Thursdays, or was it Fridays? It was the Thursdays, and then it moved to Fridays, and then, I don't remember, but it was good, when we had Rock and we had Austin, we had Taker, New Age Outlaws, Triple H. SmackDown was a great show back in the day, and they actually did care about it for a long time, and I don't know really when it just fell off the cliff, but you can definitely tell it has, so hopefully they can save it with moving it to being live on Tuesdays, and then with the brand initiative and everything like that coming back. But this week's edition of Monday Night Raw, it seems that, you're going to be hyping up The Miz versus Dean Ambrose. This is the match that probably a lot of people didn't see that was on SmackDown. Match was honestly pretty good, and I don't think a lot of people saw it, but it was so good to the point of they're going to have it on Raw again. I don't know if they're really going to tell everyone that they've already had this match. When you think about The Miz going up against Ambrose, SmackDown's always been a show that normally gets some good wrestling matches, not a lot of good angles coming out of it. But, when you think about Ambrose, who just became champion, going up against The Miz isn't going to beat Ambrose. So, it is what it is. You have to disband disbelief a little bit and just hope that the match is really good. And it was. And, they just, with SmackDown matches, things that surprised them, they just put it back on Raw and act like nothing happened. Ambrose will beat Miz. It is what it is, but hopefully it's another good match. You've got an announced match, Titus O'Neil going up against Rusev. I don't know. I could go either way on this one. I was sort of surprised that Mr. Dad of the Year, Mr. Titus O'Neil, didn't win the title on Father's Day. It sort of seems like we all thought that when Rusev won the United States Championship, it was going to heat up and actually be something yet once again, because we honestly thought that it was going to be Rusev against John Cena. And they didn't go in that direction. They ended up going with AJ Styles versus John Cena, very hot feud, but that just sort of made the United States Championship. It is what it is. Rusev's only so good, and people aren't really behind him as right now, and him going up against Titus O'Neil isn't really going to help things. I could see them putting the title on Titus O'Neil. I'm trying to think that might save 4th of July by having a title change and people think that they actually have to tune in to see it. I don't know. It just would have made a lot more sense if you would have taken the title off of Rusev on Father's Day and then used, the good old 4th of July to spoil everyone's fun and have the Russian guy come in and take the title back and do the title change on Raw the opposite direction. But hey, I'm just a guy with an iPhone in front of his face, so it is what it is. They got a 16-man tag, which is going to be 8 versus 8, USA versus the world. I'm guessing that we're going to be seeing the reuniting of the, not the Social Outcasts, but the League of Nations, which would put, Alberto Del Rio, Sheamus, and who's left from that group? Alberto Del Rio, Sheamus, and the guys just tagged up, and they didn't like each other. They got in a fight. Funaki. I guess it doesn't matter. League of Nations didn't really mean anything in the long run anyways. Wade Barrett's already gone home. And thank God Kevin Owens was sick that one week and he didn't get in there. I don't know really who to expect to be in this match. Something tells me that Mark Henry might show up for it, but no way in the world that USA isn't winning this one. So, as you can see, we got Ambrose versus The Miz. You got your big tag match. You got Vicky Guerrero. You got Rusev versus Titus. And then they're hyping up the fact that AJ Styles and John Cena are going to be getting ready to have another match. How are they going to be evening out the odds? Lots of rumors out there about Finn Balor being the guy to come in and help out John Cena because John Cena is not going to be able to beat the club on his own. And because Finn Balor has, a history with the Bullet Club and with the club. And, he's good friends with Carl Anderson, Doc Gallows. He was the guy who got replaced by AJ Styles in the Bullet Club in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Maybe Finn Balor is the guy who comes in and helps out Cena to even out the odds. And maybe that's how we get a debuting Finn Balor. Maybe even a debuting Shinsuke Nakamura. I don't think Itami fits into this, other than the fact that he's Japanese. But it is what it is. So that's going to be Monday Night Raw. We'll see you guys down the road. And hopefully it's a good one. But I'll tell you the God honest truth. I won't be watching.